Hey everyone, this is Martin from How to Make Mobile Games. I hope everyone is having a great week there, and I hope everyone got something out of the last tutorial or developer diary video which I did, which was updating BladeStar X onto the Amazon App Store to include Amazon in-app purchases. I've got some good feedback from that video. There was a couple of comments that I'd seen from people saying, "Hey, this is what they were looking for," and I also saw some comments recently, a few weeks ago. People asking more about in-app purchases on the Google Play market and how to integrate those. And I think I saw a couple of comments on how to integrate ads as well. So what I'm doing today is I'm sort of working in the capacity of Cobalt Play, which is the development business side of things, game development business, not the video side of things. But what I've got to do is I've got to update one of our games that was originally called Temple Run Training and now is called Arrow Swipe Run X. So I wanted to do a developer diary video on it. So it's not a tutorial, as probably a lot of you know from the video format. Developer diaries are just videos where I talk through what I'm doing, and hopefully you guys can follow along with it and pick up, code tips or figure out how to do things if I explain them well enough. Generally, this is an intermediate developer diary, meaning that if you're an intermediate developer, you should be able to follow along and implement the code on your side for your game. It's for beginners, it might just be something that you can watch and you might find interesting to learn about the development process. But I think for this one, it should be interesting to people because it talks about how to basically monetize the game, how to make money in the game. It's great to make free games and have fun doing that, but if you're a business like we are, then of course you've got to make money in the games, So the two things that we're going to do is well, I'll go through the list here. Is this game needs to be added to Google Play. So this is the one that you can see in the background here inside of Unity. I've got to set up the in-app purchases in Google Play, and for this game, for this update, I'll likely just have a $1 purchase to unlock something. I'm kind of thinking about that at the moment. What I'm actually going to sell in this game, and so that's the developer diary aspect of it. Really, this is just me kind of thinking about how I'm going to do things, and hopefully it works out well. The next thing is I've got to make sure that set up the AdMob ads in the game. It's already been set up inside of this game, but I'm going to use a different AdMob publisher ID. So that it's not confused with the old one, and therefore I can track it more clearly. And I'll explain that a little bit later. So you're going to see the AdMob ads portal, like the developer portal. And the other thing I've got to do as well is add in HazeApp leaderboards. So I did a video on HazeApp before, and that's worked out pretty well. And HazeApp's, we've got a lot of followers on there and a lot of people playing the game through HazeApp. So that's very, very that should be a good thing to sort of boost the competitiveness between players. And then later on, what I've got to do is also add this game to our Amazon App Store. It's already available on Amazon, but it needs to be updated so that it can, so that it includes in-app purchases. So it's already available there. I just need to update it, which is fine, because as I've mentioned on my other video, Amazon does really well. So, but I'm doing Google Play first, basically because it'll be live first, and that also means that I can get the HazeApp leaderboard set up if it's on Google Play. So this video might be a little bit broken up. I'll pause it here and there, but hopefully you guys can follow along and you find it kind of interesting and useful. So first thing, I've got to, I'm just going to do a build. So what I mean is I've got to build to my Android device here. So I'm just going to click File, Save Scene, File, Save Project. This is the main menu scene. I'm going to go down to Build Settings, Player Settings, and I'm going to update the bundle ID and version ID and so on. So bundle version, I guess 2.6, and then we'll update this one to 17. I'm actually going to try and build an ARM v6 version. That's because it will get more downloads in the Google Play market being ARM v6. And I did a separate video on ARM v6 and how it can increase your downloads, and also the pros and the cons of that. So check that out if you're looking for more downloads on the Google Play market. It worked out well for us, but there are some cons. Publish settings. Alright, so this has already been set up, so let me I'll just enter the password in there if I can remember it. And down there. And just so you know, if anyone's new in this video, I'm actually using Unity 3.55, I think, or 5.4, something like this. So at the moment, I'm not using Unity 4 if it's available at the moment. So that's in case there's any slight layout changes, just so you know the version. So that's been done. I'm going to do a build so that I can actually build a new APK. And as you can see here, I've basically got the, like I say, the original name was Temple Run Training. And if I click on the newest version here, which was done in August 22nd, I actually started the original one like almost a year ago now. Wow, so yeah, always updating. So go to the build folder, and you can put builds anywhere, but this is version 2.6, and I'm going to call this, it's going to be Google, so that we know it's the Google version, not the Amazon version. I'm going to put add in-app purchases so that I know that I added the in-app purchases, and I'm going to put new AdMob ID. So those are the three main things, and that just so that I know the version and then what was added in that version there. And 2.4, I'm just going to expand this a little bit. So I'm going to click save. And what that will do is that I'll actually do a build onto my device now. And I don't need to do anything for the device for this to build. I've just plugged it in through the USB port. What I am going to do though is I'm just going to connect my phone to VPN, if my phone would work. This is a really old, terrible phone, but good for testing on. And I'm going to connect to VPN, which is basically a proxy server, so I can connect to the US or UK servers. And the only reason I do that is just because here in China it's difficult to connect to the outside world internet sometimes. And for example, like ads won't appear very often because in AdMob we use AdMob ads, but ads don't appear very often. So I connect to a US server so that I can see the ads appearing, so that I know it's not an error. So that's why I'm connecting to VPN. I'm wondering if I should add some music in these videos whilst you're waiting. Probably not though. I think it might be a little bit distracting if I was to add like background music or something. Plus you guys wouldn't be able to like. It'd be weird if you're playing your own music over the back of this video. And I was also playing some music in the video. But anyway, so it's signing the package. It should pop up. There it is, I think. So I'm looking at the folder pops up once it's done. Is it this one? No, it's not. It's this one. So 2.6, Google added in that purchase, new AdMob ID. Today it's 16:59, which is correct. And it is 2.6, isn't it? I did write down the right number. Maybe. Just checking the... Yeah, version 2.6. Okay, that's cool. What I've also got to do as well is because this was already available originally on the Google Play Market, I need to update the bundle identifier ID. So this is basically like the signature of the game that Google Play or different app stores know which game this is exactly based on the bundle ID. So I need to change this a little bit because this was an old one. So I'm just going to make a note here of the current bundle ID. So arrow swipe run X, and I'm just going to call this file. This isn't a coding thing. This is just a tracking thing, guys. Just so that I know what build has which app store has which bundle ID, because sometimes it can get mixed up. So I'm just going to call this build notes. So you guys don't have to do this as well, of course. It's just to keep track of it. Because what might happen is if we do an update for one app store, we change the bundle ID, and then we try to update it on another app store, and it says, oh no, your bundle ID is wrong. You can't update this application. And then you've got to know the bundle ID. And sometimes this website won't tell you the bundle ID, so you have to write it down somewhere. So just in case we ever run into that problem, I'm going to write it down. So bundle ID on Amazon plus SlideMe plus other app stores. I think also on iOS. No, maybe not. Okay. Equals okay, so this is for today, which is January the 9th, I think. Yeah, January 9th, 2012. So the update today is for Google Play, bundle ID equals com.cobalt. Let me think. Arrow swipe run X. Alright, and then I'm just going to copy this and then make that, put that into the bundle identifier here. Because what will happen is this was on another Google Play account, but was unfortunately cancelled, and then so Google Play will not allow us to use that old bundle ID. I have to use a new bundle ID. So that's why I'm doing that, and that's why I'm writing it down here, just so that I can track the old one and the new one. So it's just a bit of in-house, keeping, just keeping things tidy. Updating is not the most glamorous part of game development, I think, especially when it's like this. This isn't really a game This isn't a gameplay update. This is just me, putting it onto different app stores and then adding ads and monetization and things. So it's not hugely interesting. But hey, business. You've got to. If you wanted to keep a game studio going, if you're in it for the money, then not just the money, but if you're in it for creating a business, then obviously the thing that makes the most money the fastest and the quickest and keeps the cash flow coming in is the most important thing. And I'm sure a lot of other developers would kind of understand that as well. Okay, so first things first. I'm just thinking of the next steps here, guys, what I need to do first. So bear with me whilst my brain just sort of ticks over. The gameplay is okay. It's all fine. It's all set up. I think probably the AdMob ads would be the next thing to include. And we already have some Google AdMob ads in here already, but I actually want to add in the latest version. So I'm just going to go to my logo scene, and this is the part that you might find quite interesting or useful, is the part where we add in the AdMob publisher ID and basically get the ads running. So see, we already have an AdMob ad, or already have an ID for Google Play. The problem that with AdMob is if we use if you use a different bundle, if you update the game and add a new bundle ID but still have the same AdMob ID from before, then the click-through rate and the revenue goes down on the ads, because I think AdMob says, hey, why is there two different games using the same AdMob ID? That's not right. And I tested that a little bit before, so that's why I want to use a new AdMob ID. So it looks like actually this is the new one. Okay, so bottom center, AdMob Android adapter, which is correct. So just so you guys know, what I'll quickly do this because I wanted to explain it. If you want to put ads in the game through AdMob, as a lot of you know, what we use is the Prime 31 plugins. So if you just go to prime31.com. They provide plugins for Unity to allow you to add things like ads in the game or in-app purchases. And I probably say this on every single video, but great plugin company. Check it out. Saves a lot of time. Saves us a lot of money. And then if you just go to the plugins here and then look for Android, and then I think if you go down to somewhere on here, it will have the AdMob. There you go, AdMob plugin. So this is really cool. This is basically like their AdMob plugin. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to check that I have the newest version of the AdMob plugin. So I'm going to pause the video right there, and I'll come back in just a moment. Okay, guys. So I just checked that I have the newest version, and I didn't. I've just downloaded a new version from Prime 31 for the AdMob plugin. So I'm going to install that, which is good because then I can demonstrate it to you guys. So I'm going to double click this AdMob Android banner here, and I'm just going to copy the code inside of that, just because then I don't have to rewrite the code when I install the new plugin, because when I install the new plugin it will overwrite the original code. So basically you probably won't need to do this, but this is just so that I don't have to use time to retype everything. I'm just going to copy and paste it into the new version, which is kind of handy. So I'm just going to grab a notepad here, because we can paste this into any text editor, as long as it doesn't change any kind of code inside. So I'd recommend, if you do paste code into something, use like Notepad, don't use Word. Okay, because you can see here I want to copy these details up here. So I'm just going to copy Command and A, Command and C. I'm going to go into my editor here, and I've got 3. Okay, AdMob Publisher ID 00C9, and I'm just getting this editor code here as well. Don't worry so much. Excuse me. Don't worry about this so much, guys. This isn't making sense right now. This what I'm doing right now is just because I'm updating something. You won't have to do this on your side, and I will tell you more about this in a moment. 626, that's fine, and then 95B7. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I think that's good, because this is about to get deleted out, basically, and so that's why I'm copying all of the code into Notepad here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to delete these out. AdMob Android Manager, AdMob Android Banner, and then, okay, so the AdMob adapter is for iPhone. Okay, so I'm just going to delete these out. And I'm also going to find AdMob. I'm going to type in AdMob Android at the top here in the project. I'm just going to delete these files as well. If you do ever delete the files like this, guys, please be careful. Make sure, have a quick look down and make sure you're not deleting anything which is, you know, which is very important, or you've not got a copy or a backup of. So just FYI. AdMob Android, okay, that's fine. I'm going to delete that. I think that's fine. I'm just going to check after it's deleted as well. I'm going to check in to make sure there's nothing else hanging around. I think these are the iPhone AdMob files. AdMob adapter, yeah, because AdMob. These should all be iPhone, because on Prime 31 the Android AdMob is called AdMob Android. The only other one that I do want to delete, guys, is this the one called Google here, Google AdMob Ads SDK. This is basically the native Google AdMob ad library that you have to add into Unity so that it builds into the game. Now I'm deleting this here because what might happen is, with this update that I'm about to install now, they might have a newer version, and if you've got two of the same version, if you've got the Google SDK 4.1 and then the Google 6.0, those two will clash and then cause an error, and it can be a little bit difficult to track that down sometimes. But it sometimes causes a DEX error, DEX. I have no clue what that is, but it could be because of some native library inside of your project which has like some kind of clash with another native library. So, alright, so what I'm going to do to get AdMobs in the game, this is the part that you'll hopefully find very useful, is import package, custom package. When you download from Prime 31, they'll send you a Unity package. So I'm going to locate that on my drive. Packages, Prime 31, Android, and okay, so the newest one here is the 17th of November 2012. And hopefully this runs okay. I've not actually tested this out before. Yeah, just set permissions when that pops up. And I'm going to take a quick look down and AdMob Android just to see what I'm actually installing, so that if I need to delete anything, I know which files have gone in. So AdMob plugin and Google AdMob SDK, AdMob jar. Okay, actually let me just check something in a moment, guys. I just want to make sure that I've deleted the AdMob jar library originally. Yes, I have. Okay, sorry. Just as I mentioned, you won't need to do this on your side. If you've installed it already, AdMob on your side, then you know what to do. This is for a clean install. So Unity packages. So find the package. Find the latest one, which is 17th of November. Click Open. Set permissions. This is all fine. Click Import. And this should just take a second to install, and then all of the files should be available, and then I'll show you how to put those files inside of your game scene so that you get the ads popping up.